Welcome back to Daily Health Advice. In the rush of life, as age catches up with us, what we long for is no longer luxury or extravagance. It becomes something much simpler: a restful sleep, a peaceful meal, and a body that no longer aches. Have you ever wondered, why is it that the older we get, the more prone we are to illness? Why does the number of pills we take daily outnumber the bowls of rice we eat? Every doctor visit ends with a thick stack of prescriptions, and we can't help but sigh. Sometimes, no matter how much medicine we take, the illness doesn't budge. Sometimes, we don't feel any healthier, only more drained as each day goes by. I've been there. I used to think that being healthy meant taking supplements, having money for good hospitals. But one day, as I sat quietly before a humble home-cooked meal, I realized something. The table was full of meats and fish, every dish rich and oily. And yet, strangely, it lacked the vibrant green of a plate of boiled vegetables, a simple, unassuming dish that had once been a daily staple during my childhood. I remembered my mother, back when she was still alive. Every meal she made always had vegetables. No need for fancy delicacies, just a hot bowl of soup and a plate of greens, and the whole family was full and happy. Back then, I didn't appreciate it. I thought vegetables were just side dishes, something only poor families ate a lot of. I craved meat, rich foods, thinking that's what made a man healthy and manly. But now, I've come full circle, returning to what I once ignored. And I realize it's not because I've become poorer, but because I've come to understand better. I understand now that what's truly precious isn't what's expensive, but what truly nourishes us. You know, my journey to better health didn't start at a hospital. It began in a small countryside market on a rainy afternoon. I was taking shelter under an awning and met an elderly woman sitting there picking vegetables. In her basket were only the most familiar things: broccoli, Malabar spinach, sweet potato leaves, pumpkin. I struck up a conversation, and she smiled gently, saying, "I've been eating vegetables all my life, son. Makes the body feel light, sleep comes easy, barely need any medicine." I just nodded politely at the time. But strangely enough, her words stuck with me. I bought a few heads of broccoli to try boiling at home, just to see, no real expectations. But surprisingly, from that simple, seemingly unremarkable plate of greens, my body started to change. My stomach felt lighter, my mind clearer, and those sleepless nights became fewer and farther between. It was then I truly believed, sometimes, the key to good health isn't in expensive prescriptions, but in humble, rustic vegetables, what our ancestors once called life-sustaining food. Today, I share this story with you, not as empty theory, but from real, lived experience. A healing journey through vegetables. And that journey started with nothing more than a modest plate of boiled broccoli. Unexpected, yet transformative. Back then, I didn't hate vegetables, but I never thought of them as anything important either. To me, they were just side dishes, optional. Every meal felt incomplete without at least one dish of braised pork, fried fish, or steamed shrimp. I remember vividly, in my younger years, how full of energy I was, always ready to party, drinking through the night, feasting on meat without a second thought, ignoring every warning. I was proud of my strong build, my stamina. I believed that eating a lot and drinking heartily meant living well. Who worries about their liver or kidneys in their 30s? Vegetables seemed bland, pointless. I only added a few to my plate for color. My wife used to remind me often, "Honey, eat more veggies. It helps cool the body, detoxifies." I just laugh it off. Detox? I'm strong as an ox. But that strength didn't last very long. I began to feel tired all the time. Lost my appetite, couldn't sleep well. I started feeling a dull ache in my liver now and then. My vision grew blurry, and my eyes would tear up for no reason. At night, I'd toss and turn, my mind heavy, and in the morning I couldn't bring myself to get out of bed. Even then, I didn't take it seriously. I just thought maybe I was overworked, a bit stressed, and that it would pass. One day, I went in for a routine health checkup. The doctor looked over my test results, furrowed his brows, and said bluntly, "Your liver enzymes are way too high. Your blood pressure isn't good either. If you don't change your lifestyle and eating habits, I'm afraid you don't have many healthy years left." I was truly shaken. It felt like time slowed down. I had a house, a family, enough money to live comfortably. Yet the most important thing, my health, I had failed to protect. I didn't say it out loud, But deep inside, I started to worry. Worry for myself, for my wife and children, for the future I had unknowingly traded away for drinking parties and fancy meals that were never really necessary. One day, during a heavy downpour, I stopped at a village market to take shelter. Under a small awning, I saw an old woman sitting there picking vegetables. Her hair was snow white, her back hunched, yet her hands moved quickly and skillfully. In her basket were green broccoli, bundles of Malabar spinach, mustard greens, all fresh and clean. I curiously asked, "Granny, why are you still out here selling vegetables in this weather at your age? Isn't it too hard?" She just smiled gently. "A little hardship is nothing. I've eaten vegetables all my life, so I'm still healthy, still walking, still able to see my grandchildren clearly. These greens are good for the body. Light, clean for the liver, help you sleep well, no need to worry about sickness." I wasn't entirely convinced, but somehow, her simple words stuck with me. I bought some broccoli, thinking I'd just give it a try. Boiled it, drizzled a little sesame oil on top, sprinkled some crushed salt, just like how my mother used to make it. That meal, I ate slowly. I chewed thoroughly. No rush. No expectations, just a bit of quiet nourishment. Who would have thought that from such a simple meal, my body would begin to change? I could feel it clearly. My stomach felt lighter, no more bloating. At night, I fell asleep quickly and deeply. I didn't wake up in the middle of the night. No more tossing and turning. I woke early, mind refreshed, body light, like a burden had been lifted. 2 months later, I went back for another checkup. The doctor looked at my results in surprise. "Your liver is recovering well. Blood pressure is stable. Keep this up and you'll be just fine." I was overjoyed. From that moment on, I no longer saw vegetables as just side dishes, but as reliable companions. Broccoli, such a plain, humble name, turned out to be a natural medicine that not many pay attention to. Broccoli contains glucosinolates, compounds that help detox the liver, prevent cancer, and boost immunity. It's also rich in vitamins C and E, which protect cells, brighten the skin, and slow aging. Potassium in broccoli helps regulate blood pressure, while vitamin K supports smooth blood flow and helps prevent strokes. The fiber cleanses the intestines, lowers cholesterol, aids digestion, and helps manage weight. I came to realize one thing. You don't need expensive supplements. You don't need flashy functional foods. All you need is to eat what your body truly needs, in the right way, at the right time, and your body will naturally begin to heal. Broccoli doesn't just cleanse the liver, it also brings peace of mind. It reminds me of my mother, of simple home-cooked meals, of the quiet things that carry deep meaning. Every time I eat broccoli, I feel like I'm returning to myself, the part of me I had neglected amidst life's noise. From someone who used to eat vegetables just for show, I now cook broccoli regularly, boiled, stir-fried with garlic, in soup. A few times a week. Nothing fancy, but full of nutrients. At first, my kids and grandkids complained it was bland, but over time, they got used to it. Some even asked me for recipes and started adding broccoli to their own family meals. People ask me how just one plate of vegetables could change my health so drastically. I just smile and say, because our bodies don't need much. They just need the right things. And broccoli is one of the rightest choices I've ever made. So, if you're feeling heavy, your stomach uncomfortable, your sleep restless, don't rush to the medicine cabinet. Try a plate of boiled broccoli. Gently, but consistently. Who knows? You might just find peace again, right there at your dinner table. And it was from that humble plate of broccoli that I began to pay more attention to those simple, everyday foods. The ones we often overlook, yet quietly hold tremendous value for our health. One day, I happened to hear an old saying from our elders. When your eyes are clear, your heart is light. When your heart is strong, your mind endures. It made me think back to nights when I could barely read a few lines of the newspaper because my vision was so blurry. I had to squint just to make out the words. But now, under the soft yellow light of my little kitchen, I can calmly read stories to my grandchild, each word sharp and clear. All thanks to a familiar ingredient, not a vegetable, but a golden, sweet fruit that nearly every rural kitchen has. One I once dismissed as food for the frail and elderly. Yes, I'm talking about pumpkin, a gift from the earth that helped bring back my clear eyesight and made my heart stronger with each passing day. You see, about 7 years ago, I started noticing that my eyesight wasn't what it used to be. At first, it was just eye strain after reading for a while. Then at night, lights on the road became a blur, especially the headlights of oncoming cars. I ignored it, thinking it's just old age. But one day, while reading the newspaper, something happened that truly startled me. I couldn't make out the words right in front of me. I had to hold the paper at arm's length to see clearly, and even then, I still had to squint. Reading for long made my eyes ache, heavy like they were weighed down by stones. My wife noticed and asked, alarmed, "Are you okay? Don't ignore it. If your eyes go, the whole family suffers." At first, I brushed it off. "It's fine, probably just tired." But she insisted I see a doctor. At the hospital, the doctor examined me in silence, scribbled down notes, then said, "You're showing early signs of macular degeneration. There's also a risk of developing cataracts." I was stunned. It felt like someone had picked me up and dropped me from a great height. I'd spent years working hard, carrying heavy loads without complaint, and now I was at risk of losing the most precious gift of all, my sight. My wife's eyes welled with tears. "Please, change your ways. Don't wait until you can't see your grandkids anymore. It'll be too late." I nodded, but truthfully, I had no idea where to start. The doctor prescribed medicine, sure, but the worry still lingered deep inside. Then one evening, while preparing dinner, my wife steamed a plate of pumpkin and said, "Try this. It's really good for your eyes." I made a face. "Pumpkin? That bland stuff? How am I supposed to eat that?" She smiled. "Just try it. I made it with sesame salt, just like how your mom used to." Out of respect, I took a bite. It was surprisingly sweet and smooth, gentle on the palate. Not bitter, not harsh. I had another bite, then another. Strangely, I didn't get tired of it. That night, I slept soundly. For the first time in a long while, I had a deep, restful sleep. From that day on, pumpkin became a regular part of our meals. Sometimes boiled, sometimes made into soup with dried shrimp, or steamed and mashed into porridge for our grandchild. With every meal, I no longer saw it as old people's food, but as a dish that was healing my eyes, little by little. Just a few weeks later, I noticed something surprising. I could read the newspaper more clearly, no more squinting. At night, I could see the road without the lights blinding me. I went back for a checkup, and the doctor said my eye condition had stabilized. No further intervention was needed, just keep up the good diet. I was overwhelmed with joy. It was then that I truly started researching pumpkin, and I discovered that inside that golden orange fruit is a treasure trove of nutrients. Beta-carotene, a precursor to vitamin A, is essential for eye health, improving vision, and preventing macular degeneration. Lutein, a powerful antioxidant, helps protect the retina and slows down eye aging. Zinc boosts immunity and supports heart health. And let's not forget the fiber, vitamin C, and potassium in pumpkin, which help regulate blood sugar, lower bad cholesterol, and benefit those at risk of diabetes or high blood pressure. I realized something. You don't need to eat rare delicacies to be healthy. A bowl of pumpkin soup with dried shrimp, or a simple plate of steamed pumpkin with sesame salt. Sometimes that's more valuable than the most expensive supplements. I remember one chilly, rainy evening. My wife made a simple bowl of plain rice porridge, served with mashed pumpkin. Its gentle sweetness warmed me to the core. The whole family gathered around, eating and laughing together, no fancy dishes needed. And yet, in that moment, there was more peace and fulfillment than in any luxurious feast out there. What was once just a side dish gradually became an irreplaceable companion in my kitchen. I even started teaching my grandkids how to cook it, how to pick the best pumpkins. Deep orange color, heavy in the hand, smooth skin. One day, one of them teased, "Grandpa loves pumpkin more than he loves us." I just smiled and said, "Pumpkin helps me see clearly, so I can keep watching you grow every day." Many of my peers can no longer read the paper, can't drive, and some have already undergone eye surgery. But me, thanks to one small change in my meals, I've managed to keep my vision, keep my heart healthy, and keep my mind sharp. Pumpkin doesn't just nourish the eyes, it warms the soul. Every time I eat it, I don't just enjoy the flavor, I feel grateful for such a humble, affordable food that carries so much value. Dear friends, if you're experiencing eye strain, blurred vision, feeling heavy, or struggling to sleep, don't rush to medication just yet. Try a plate of steamed pumpkin. Give it a few days. Who knows, your body might thank you with small, gentle, but very real changes. And from that recovery, my curiosity grew. I began to wonder, what other vegetables or foods out there, just as simple and easy to find, could quietly nourish the body like that? That's when I remembered the first time I encountered spinach, the leafy green Westerners call the longevity vegetable. It was one of my grandkids, just back from studying abroad, who brought it to our table, and I, of course, doubted it. Just like I once doubted broccoli and pumpkin. I discovered spinach purely by chance. My kids and grandkids had come home for a visit, and the one who'd been overseas brought back all kinds of Western food, laid it all out on the table, looked quite modern. Among the dishes was a plate of dark green leaves, large, soft, with a taste that was oddly familiar. I asked, "What kind of vegetable is this?" My grandchild smiled and said, "This is spinach, Grandpa. In the West, they call it the longevity vegetable." I laughed out loud. Longevity vegetable? Sounded like something out of an old folk tale. I joked, "What kind of vegetable gets called that?" "It's just green leaves. Doesn't look exciting at all." They took a bite, dipped it in soy sauce, and said, "Try it, Grandpa. It's cool and soothing." Out of respect, I picked up a piece. As I bit into it, I tasted a light sweetness, a subtle earthiness, soft and refreshing as it slid down my throat. At the time, I didn't think much of it. Just, not bad. But from then on, I started paying more attention to this vegetable. After that day, I began seeking out spinach, or as we call it here, kaibwazoi. Every weekend, I'd head to the market early to pick out fresh, young bundles. I'd blanch it briefly, squeeze out the water, toss it with a bit of sesame oil, and top it with golden fried garlic. A dish so simple, yet so light and satisfying. Some days I'd stir-fry it with eggs, other days make a shrimp salad. A few times a week. What started as a trial became a habit, then a routine I didn't even realize I'd formed. And then, something wonderful began to happen, quietly and steadily. After about 2 months of consistently including it in my diet, I went back for a checkup. The doctor said, "Your blood sugar levels are stable. Your joints are stronger. Your nervous system responses are better, too." I was stunned, because aside from eating more vegetables, I hadn't taken any special supplements or medicines. That's when I became even more convinced. Staying healthy doesn't mean downing pills or eating expensive, extravagant food. The Real foundation is consistency, patience, and choosing the right foods. That's the key. I dug deeper and learned that spinach isn't just a popular food in the West. It's a true nutritional powerhouse. It's rich in calcium and vitamin K, which support bone formation and help prevent osteoporosis in older adults. It contains iron, essential for blood production and preventing anemia in the elderly. It offers vitamins A and C, which strengthen the immune system, protect cells, and act as powerful antioxidants. Most notably, it has alpha-lipoic acid, a compound that helps regulate blood sugar, prevent diabetic complications, and slow down the aging process. That's when I truly realized the value of a meal isn't in its price, but in the care we put into it. Whether we take the time to choose, prepare, and eat with intention. Eat the right things, consistently, and in balance, and the body will naturally heal. It will thank us with better sleep, stronger bones, healthier blood, and a clear, focused mind. One cold morning, I woke up without that usual joint ache in my knees, something I used to feel every winter. I stood up easily, walked around lightly. I didn't think much of it at first, but then I remembered the plate of spinach I'd eaten the night before. A quiet joy bloomed in my chest. That feeling of being naturally well, without relying on pills, it's a kind of happiness you can't quite put into words. Spinach didn't just help me eat better, it helped me slow down. I started spending time picking each leaf, rinsing them clean, preparing each meal with care. Standing in the kitchen, listening to the sizzle of garlic in hot oil, smelling that aroma fill the room. It brought peace to my heart. I realized then, health doesn't come only from nutrients, but also from the mindset we bring to our meals. Many of my peers still struggle with diabetes meds, joint pills, memory supplements. I'm not saying I don't need medicine, but I'm certain that thanks to spinach, I rely on it far less. I told this story to a few old friends. Some nodded thoughtfully. One even said, "Spinach? We have that growing everywhere around here, but I never paid it much attention." I just smiled and said, "Then maybe it's time you do." Sometimes, the most precious things are right there in our vegetable basket, and we don't even know it. Then I wondered, If spinach can strengthen bones and brighten the mind, what other plant could help us sleep better, lighten the liver, soothe the stomach, to bring balance to the whole body? The answer came from a plant so familiar. It grows wild in backyard gardens, easy to plant, easy to harvest, but often overlooked. A small vegetable, once called by our ancestors the longevity herb, the herb of restful sleep and a clean liver. Yes, it's garlic chives. Dear friends, in all my years, I never imagined that sleeplessness could bring so much suffering. I used to sleep like a rock, close my eyes, and I'd be out until morning. But after 60, sleep started slipping away. At first, it was just hard to fall asleep. Then I'd wake at 2 or 3 in the morning, head heavy like stone, stomach bloated, mouth bitter. No matter how tightly I wrapped myself in blankets, sleep never returned. Every morning felt like I'd just come through a storm, drained, sluggish, with no energy to do anything. I turned to sleeping pills. They worked at first, but over time, I built a tolerance. Some nights I took them and still lay wide awake. And the more I worried, the more my liver weakened, my digestion worsened. Then one evening, I visited my sister-in-law back in the countryside. The sky was dimming, the kitchen warmed by the scent of rice, cooking, and fresh broth. She brought out a tray of food, and on it was a plate of bright green boiled vegetables. I looked closer. It was garlic chives, a vegetable I used to hate for its sharp taste. Thought it was too strong, too hard to eat. I frowned. Oh dear, chives? That stuff's way too pungent. She just laughed. Try it. You'll sleep like a baby. If not, I'll take the blame. Out of respect, I picked up a bit and dipped it in garlic fish sauce. One bite, and I was surprised. The chives had a soft, sweet finish. Tender, not sharp at all. The flavor was mild, pleasant. That night, I slept straight through until nearly 6 a.m. for the first time in months. That morning, I woke up feeling light as air. My mind was clear, my stomach calm, and there was no fatigue in my body. I sat in stillness for a long while, then gazed out at the garden. A gentle breeze passed through, and I knew something had truly changed. From that day on, I began paying attention to garlic chives. I went online, looked into old herbal texts, and discovered that garlic chives have long been called Q-Tai, meaning the herb of longevity in traditional Eastern medicine. Chives are warm in nature, mildly spicy, non-toxic. They help warm the body, improve circulation, support liver function, aid digestion, and most notably, they promote deep, restful sleep. Garlic chives contain allicin, a compound with powerful antibacterial and anti-inflammatory properties, especially beneficial for the liver and digestive system. They're also rich in vitamins A and C, which support vision and strengthen the immune system, and fiber, which helps the intestines function smoothly, easing bloating and indigestion. Modern research even suggests garlic chives help regulate blood pressure and reduce cardiovascular risk. I started eating garlic chives once or twice a week. Sometimes boiled, sometimes stir-fried with eggs, sometimes in soup with soft tofu or clams. Each dish was simple, easy to make, and easy to eat. But the most important part was that I ate it with gratitude, with the awareness that I was taking care of myself. And the results? After just a few weeks, I began sleeping soundly. No more waking up in the middle of the night. No more tossing and turning for hours. My digestion improved, my body felt lighter, and I moved with ease. No need for sleeping pills. No need for digestive enzymes. Just garlic chives, that humble plant growing wild behind the house, the very one I used to dismiss. There was a time I left cooked chives overnight, thinking it would be a shame to waste it. The next morning, after eating them, I felt bloated and uncomfortable. I asked around and was reminded of an old piece of advice. Chives should be eaten fresh. Because of their warming nature, they can cause excess internal heat if left too long. Since then, I've learned to cook just enough, always fresh, eaten the same day. I still remember one quiet midday. The sunlight was gentle, and I sat at a small lunch table, slowly eating a plate of boiled chives dipped in garlic fish sauce, just like my mother used to make. The mild spiciness, the delicate fragrance, the cooling aftertaste. After the meal, I lay down in the old hammock on the porch. Just a short nap, but it was deep and strangely sweet. When I woke up, I felt so light, as if all the stress and worries had quietly melted away. Dear friends, the longer I live, the more I understand. Taking care of our health isn't something grand or complicated. You don't need imported medicine or pricey supplements. What matters is understanding your body, listening to it, choosing the right foods, and eating with a heart that knows contentment. Garlic chives, broccoli, pumpkin, spinach, each with its own benefit, yet all are treasures of nature, quietly and effectively nourishing the body. Every plate of vegetables, every bowl of soup, when prepared and eaten properly and regularly, is as valuable as any remedy for the elderly. And then I asked myself, how many of us are still out there, chasing health in faraway places, forgetting that it already lives in our daily meals, in the vegetables behind our homes, in a simple bowl of spicy fish sauce at sunset? I think it's time we take a step back and reflect. Dear friends, we've just walked through a humble yet profoundly meaningful journey together. Not a journey filled with expensive prescriptions, nor one lined with complicated health tips, but simply the journey of someone who once looked down on vegetables, now bowing before a plate of boiled greens. A journey of returning to oneself, to the home-cooked meal, to the simplest things, where true health truly begins. I once believed that living well meant eating richly, taking lots of supplements, and following strict, expensive regimens. But the older I get, the more I see, what the body truly needs is often just kindness in how we treat it. A balanced meal, a properly cooked dish of greens, and a heart that's willing to listen. I still remember the feeling of sleeping straight through the night, after countless restless ones, all because of a few stalks of garlic chives I once avoided. I remember vividly the doctor shaking his head in disbelief during a follow-up, unable to believe my liver had recovered simply from meals with broccoli. I'll never forget the moment I picked up the newspaper and didn't have to squint, all thanks to the bowl of pumpkin soup my wife made. And I've come to deeply appreciate those gentle mornings when my bones ache less, all from the humble, familiar help of spinach. There was nothing magical about it. It all began the moment I sat down, took a look at myself, and decided to eat differently. Slower, lighter, greener, but also more thoughtfully, more gratefully, and more gently. So if today, after hearing this story, you feel the urge to change, even just a little, don't hesitate. Start small. Maybe cook a vegetable dish your mother used to make. Swap a fried item for a simple steamed one. Or just add one more plate of greens to your dinner table. These small changes, if kept up, can bring us closer to true health. Not just the kind written in test results, but the kind that shows up in deep sleep, in light steps, in eyes still sharp enough to watch your grandchildren grow. I hope you don't keep this story to yourself. If you found meaning in it, share it with your loved ones, with friends, so everyone has a chance to care for their health in a way that's simple, yet powerful. And if there's something you'd like to share, even just a small change you'll start today, please leave a message. I'll read it, and I'll listen with all my heart. Thank you for staying until the very end. Thank you for believing, for walking this path with me. And if you feel these are things worth holding on to, I invite you to subscribe, so you won't miss the next story. See you again in another video, where we'll continue our journey toward health, through the most familiar, honest things in life.